is Ronnie, and welcome to a scrapbook process video of 49 Market's Everywhere Ultimate Page Kit. Last week I made one and I used the side that was more blank. And this week Renee requested for me to do one and keep to the actual sketch and the layout and the pieces and stuff. And to find the pieces, I took a picture of the main page that is advertising page, and I took a picture of each one of the little layouts. Then I went through, like on this one, got out the bigger pieces first, set them to the side, and since these are, well, it's a grid, I laid each one over on that white mat there. And I grouped them together so that I would be able to find them easier. But all I did was look at the picture that was on the front. Of course, like I said, I took a photo of it so it'd be bigger. I could see it better. And once I started cutting them out when I first got the thing, it was long gone anyway. So I was glad I thought of doing that before I started cutting away. Because 49 Market has a motto or something where they don't have wasted space. So there are extra pieces in this because a 12 by 12 paper is 12 by 12, a 6 by 12 paper 6 by 6, and they're going to fit all they can on there, even if it's using the back side. And this map here, it's got pieces cut out of it, and then it's got two stripe papers that go under it. Well, they're pretty good size, and I didn't want to waste them, so I am cutting this one into an L shape, and the other one's just going to be a strip. And I'm going to kind of put it like they've got it, so you can still see the stripe behind that faux tour place there, and it can come down. And they don't have it straight, they've got it angled a little bit, so I went ahead and angled it too. And then on this left-hand side, it is just a strip showing. I might have cut it a little wider than I needed to. I thought that as I was cutting, but I just put some glue on it, and the bottom part has it like torn look again. So I put it on the bottom part to match. And I'm just going to kind of center it on here where it looked like on the sketch right there that it goes. And then you've got the notebook papers with the maps, and then the little Polaroids. I went ahead and put my photos in, and they are my great nephew Parker, and he's at one of those climbing places, and one shows him starting, one shows him farther away, and then the other one shows him at the top, and you can see his aunt and his dad right down there at the bottom. Barely. I think part of his dad's head's covered up. Let me look. I'm looking at the tiny screen. No, his head is not covered up. Looking at the layout, his head shows pretty good. But I'm sure it's his mom taking the photo because he is up there at the top, and there is balconies up there. Since the little notebook pieces have embellishments on them, I thought I'd go ahead and put foam tape behind the photos to bring them up a bit. And this is just some Dollar Tree foam tape, and I'm just going to stick them on there. And then they had these little labels, little white with blue trim labels at the bottom of the Polaroid. So I'm putting them on there. I couldn't find them at first. I thought, where in the world did they go? Because I didn't remember using them. A couple of things I used and remembered using them, but I didn't remember using those. And I finally gave up and pulled these tickets out, which I will show you. And thought, okay, those will work. Those will look cute on there. And the one end of them, there's like 3 that were blue. But then I found them right after I pulled it out. So I am using the white labels with the blue trim. This first one that I'm embellishing has the geo tag, and it has it pretty much centered on there. Then there are 2 stamps, and I put the stamps with each little cluster that they belonged in. And this one had the smaller stamp, and then it had a piece of chipboard that said experience. No, that's not the one that says experience. That's life is for living. That's what it said. And which I will change out after I finish with the layout because of the fact that I wanted destination because his destination was to get to the top. I This is the globe, and I took it over and showed that it's white on one side and pink on the other, which you could use either one. If you weren't putting it on that white, the white would work pretty good. And you could ink it if you wanted it a different color. But they used it as pink, so I thought I would. And then they had their little bow. It's a laser cut bow at the top with the word experience on top of it. And it is chipboard, so it's wider and heavier. And I put the clamp on all three pieces up there at the top because it looked like that's how they had theirs. And I've only got one cluster left to do. This is a really quick layout, and it is so cute. I mean, even without me putting the things, that I wanted to put on there to make it mine and to go a little bit more with my photos, it is still adorable and can work just as is. This cluster has the larger postage stamp. And then it also has a ticket that says 5 cents. And it has a little heart with a string, well, faux string because it is a laser cut. And I guess I remember using a heart last week. And I guess I used the one that went in the direction that's supposed to go on this layout. So the strings are going the opposite way from in the photo. But I think it's close enough. And then there was 2 laser cut buttons that got used, and I used the real thing. Rather than trying to find them and dig them out, I thought, well, they're extra to use because, they threw in extra stuff. And I thought, I'm going to go ahead and use the button. So my while I was talking, I got done. So right now, right there, I should have paused longer. I felt longer when I was doing it. I finished the layout. So I decided to add some rub-ons, and since there is green in the upper middle little cluster, I thought I'd add some more green instead of it all being blue in the background. And I'm going to put in 3 spots. So I'm not going to add much. I'm not going to add much mixed media look to what is already there, but I'm going to add a little bit. And these do rub on really good. And they will run over layers and be nice and smooth and still look good too. So I could have ran over maybe the top layer underneath there, or even both layers, because there is 2 layers of paper in the upper right hand corner. And it would have worked too, but I tried to tuck under just a little bit. I pulled this one out and it says highlight of the day. And Parker's highlight was to make it to the top. So I thought that'd be pretty good. So I'm putting the highlight of the day on there. And then I planned on putting I love this or something like that. I can't remember what it said. I showed it just a second ago, but I can't remember what it said. But it didn't fit. But in my head, it looked like it would, but no, it did not fit. So it is not on there. I pulled out some phrase stickers because I wanted to add to the photos and add a little something. So when I do a grid, I want every single one of my little sections to have some embellishment. So the first one up there on the left says, today is the day. And then the next one's easy peasy because he just went right up that wall. And then worth the wait, and the one with his face. And I do have a couple of more pictures, but it was the time he got to go back. So we'll have some more to scrap of him climbing a wall, but of a different visit. That banner there, I was busy talking about something else, I am sure, when I put it on there. It looks like it has staples in it so that you can run your banner across there. It looks like you took your maybe tiny attacher and attached it on. So it is so cute. And it says favorite because he loved doing this. He loves any kind of sports. And oh, since that banner's blue, I think I might want to add some more dark blue on there. So I used my little star punch and I punched out a few so I'd have a few done to start with, but then I punched out one more so I could show the punch. And I'm just going to put them in the clusters and kind of tuck them in or use foam tape and put them up on top. But I think that's the last thing I do with the, no, I take it back. It is not. since like I said, I want to make it mine and to fit my photos. The wall has those different colored handholds and footholds on there. So I decided to use some enamel dots and put them in each one of the cluster without the photo and put 3 colors. So I'm using a blue, a green, and an orange, and just kind of putting them on there. And then it will be the end of my layout. So I hope it helps you, Renee. Uh, it helps me to have that big picture there so I can do one little cluster at a time or one spot on the other layouts. And I had them set, they might have got messed up right after I got started because, you know, I can get kind of messy. But I had them all setting together in clusters over to the right so I'd know in my head where I was going to put them. And of course, my picture was right there next to me, and that made it a whole lot easier too. When I first opened this collection, I thought, oh, it's got so many cute goodies in here. And it really did not make a list or anything of what went where. It had a picture of each one of them on the back side of the layout, and then it had it on the front side of the page. But like I said, I started cutting out the pieces before I started thinking about what goes where. And so, yeah, my solution for me was to have a picture there and to do one little cluster at a time. And I set the papers over to the side so I would have them separate too. But aren't they the cutest little clusters? I mean, I really enjoyed making it and putting all the stuff that they gave me on there and then just adding a little bit so it go with my photos. But there's a picture of Parker close up with his dad and his aunt down there at the bottom. And look how proud he is being up there at the top. It kind of looked like some sort of, I don't know, awning thing. I mean, I couldn't tell enough. The picture wasn't big enough and showed enough for me to tell, but it looked like he was still on top of something. And I do know from a couple of other pictures that I cropped a little bit that there is a balcony there so they can be up there taking photos because that's what I'd be doing. But yeah, that's it. That's my layout. I had fun making it. And like I said, I got mine at Office Supply. And let's see, was it day before yesterday? I seen that it was only a 5% discount. I thought, well, that's not very good. Well, later in the day, well, it was evening. It wasn't later in the day. It was evening when I looked at my email. And at happy hour, whatever time happy hour is, it was 2 hours worth. They had 20% off during happy hour. Well, I missed that. But yeah, just keep an eye on the email and you can get the deal you want. But if you leave a comment below, I'll try to get back with you. If you like the video and hit a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, I'd love to have you subscribe. And those of you already are, thank you so very much. But have a happy, scrappy week. Bye.